comes from Curvo. So ETFs are great as they provide significant diversification in one single fund. ETFs are baskets of stocks or bonds, and you'll actually want to invest in stock ETFs as they have historically delivered higher returns. As some of the ETFs that we're going to show you in this video, you'll actually be invested in thousands of different companies through one single fund. So investing in ETFs, also called trackers or very similar to index funds, is actually a way to do passive investing because you're not actively trying to outsmart other investors. Instead, you simply invest in as many different companies as possible across the world. Thereby, you're earning the actual average return of the global economy. It's a tried and tested strategy for long-term returns and investments. So the ETFs we selected for this video all follow a specific set of criteria for Belgium investors. We've looked at this in a previous video, which I've linked in the show notes below on how you should actually invest in ETFs from Belgium. But let me recap some of the most important criteria to look out for. So firstly, it's got to be accumulating. In order to reduce the tax burden, it's super important that Belgian investors choose accumulating ETFs. As these funds directly reinvest their dividends, you won't have to pay the 30% dividend tax. They have to be domiciled in Ireland or Luxembourg. So both countries have special tax treaties with many countries around the world. It actually makes it very advantageous tax-wise for us in Belgium to invest in funds domiciled in Ireland or Luxembourg. What you want with your ETFs is that they're traded in euros. So we only selected funds that are trading in euro as we don't want to pay unnecessary currency exchange fees. They have to follow an index. So the style of investing based on trackers, also called passive investing, is a superior strategy for most people. There's no need to spend time analyzing individual stocks. You can just actually follow an index of companies. And of course, they have to be diversified across sectors and countries. So you're exposed to hundreds and sometimes thousands of companies in one go through one single fund. And another criteria, they have to be low cost. So with the lack of active management involved, ETFs are actually a cheaper way of investing than going through your bank. So that's enough of an introduction. Let's get into it. So our number one ETF for Belgian investors is VWCE, which is the FTSE All World Index. It has yearly costs of 0.22%. The VWCE fund continues to be a popular ETF for Belgian investors because the fund, which was launched by Vanguard in 2019, tracks the performance of the FTSE All World Index, which currently holds more than 11 billion euros under management. It's composed of approximately 3,700 stocks, and because it's so diversified, investors actually find in VWCE a great way to follow the market, but also hold a significant portion of the world's stocks. Stocks such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, etc., they're all represented in this fund. So the index actually returned an average of about 8.6% per year since 2005. Number two on our list is IWDA, so the MSCI World Index. It has a TER and yearly cost of 0.2%. It's actually offered by iShares, which is a brand of BlackRock. And what it does is that it tracks the MSCI World Index, which consists of about 1,500 stocks from 23 countries that economists qualify as developed. So we're talking about the US, Germany, Japan, UK, Australia. So investing in IWDA means investing in a wide segment of the global economy. Many investors actually choose to simply invest in this one ETF as their entire portfolio. It's returned a staggering 10.9% annually since 1978. So third in our list is Curvo Growth, with the yearly cost, the TER at 0.25%. So Curvo's growth portfolio, it's one of the most popular combinations for Belgian investors. It's actually composed of two funds, which are both offered by Vanguard. The first fund tracks the FTSE Developed All Cap Choice Index, that's the ISIN, and also a fund tracking the FTSE Emerging All Cap Choice Index, that's the other ISIN. And so this combination of the two Vanguard funds is similar to the FTSE All World. Through Curvo Growth, you're investing in over 7,500 companies. The portfolio has returned approximately 8.5% annually since 2005. Now, fourth in our list is CNDX. It's a NASDAQ 100 index. The yearly costs are a bit higher at 0.33%, and the ETF is powered and offered through iShares, so it's another popular option for Belgian investors. And what it does is that it tracks the NASDAQ 100, which consists of You guessed it, 100 companies that are classified as tech companies. So industries such as hardware, software, telecommunications, biotechnology, they all make up the index, and all major tech companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, they're all in it. Returns have been staggering as well. So a 10,000 euro investment in the Nasdaq 100 in 2007 would have actually resulted in almost 90,000 euros in 2022. That's a staggering 15.6% average annual return. So fifth on our list is an ETF which actually tracks the S&P 500. So it's offered again by iShares. It's the core S&P 500 accumulating fund. It's one of the so what the S&P stands for is the Standard & Poor's 500 index. And so as that name suggests, it actually seeks to track the performance of an index composed of the 500 largest American companies. So through the S&P 500, you actually get exposure to a large section of the US economy, as it covers 80% of the total American market cap. So as you can tell from the graph that I've just displayed, the S&P 500 has returned an average of 10.4% per year since 1992. It's really a significant return on your investment if you began your investment journey in the early 90s. We have another 3 ETFs that we actually analyzed for Belgians, and that we actually linked in our article, which I've put in the show notes. But in the meantime, we can actually do a comparison of all of them. And so one quick disclaimer before I get into it is that past performance is no guarantee for future results. I'm pretty sure you've read this sentence in a lot of different disclaimers. However, this sentence is actually often misinterpreted, and people conclude that the analysis of the past is actually not worthwhile. In the world of investing, though, the past is indeed no guarantee of what the future will actually look like. Nevertheless, we are actually convinced that it can give us interesting insights, which in turn are important when we actually make projections about the future and your investments, albeit with a dose of uncertainty. So to give you an idea of how these funds compare in terms of past performance, if we put them all together, this is what's shown. And as you can tell, there's actually quite a significant difference with the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500, which are outperforming all other ETFs. However, as I mentioned at the start of the video, companies in the US, and in particular tech companies, have actually performed extremely well over the last 30 years, but will actually continue for the next 30 years. So we covered a few different ETFs for Belgian investors. We highlighted some of the pros and a couple of the cons, and we hope that this list is actually helpful in you making a choice. So whichever ETF you end up choosing, you've already made the right choice, as they are a great investment vehicle that provides a bunch of diversification at a fairly low cost. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed, don't hesitate to explore the app that we built for Belgian investors called Curvo. After all, our goal at Curvo is to take care of all the complexities of good investing for you. Thanks for watching the video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more updates like this, and please feel free to comment with your favorite ETFs that you're using as Belgian investors. Thank you.